answer was going to be into a fairly tanky and beefy composition in the likes of the Scion and now the Poppy added to the roster of Xin. And Sivir all in onto Harry. Chain of Corruptions was already used, looking for that piercing arrow, does about 50% of HP to Harry's health bar. But at the end of the day, it's still Cassante. He's still going to walk out of there pretty scot-free, but it is all three grubs going over to OMG, whereas Kroko will secure the first dragon of the game.
I think this counts as character development, because we saw in a very similar situation where OMG were taking the grubs and the dragon was available in the last series they played. Kroko actually opted to go invade and take away 2 of Juhan's camps instead of doing the dragon.
The cost of Moham using his ultimate summon, or ultimate spell, I should say, might be a potential collapse. Kroko was spotted on that control ward. Is that crab worth it, Kroko? We're going to find out. He's right on top of the Unraveled Earth, but great scout of the week from Bulldog. But the seismic shove flicks him back into the waiting arms. Haichao is forced to flash, but at the end of the day, it is still first blood going into the hands of Juhan's Wukong. 1,400 something gold so that he can complete that Essence Reaver, since he did pivot to a boot and dagger combo to start working towards those Berserk Greaves.
He's dead.
He has Flash and Exhaust available, as well as Solar Flare, but he's pushed in by missing, and the Steadfast Presence prevents him from getting the Zenith Blade out to safety. And even with the Flash, you're absolutely right, Melvin, that is a dead Moham right there. Juhan has Cyclone available, but it is effectively a 2v3, so I don't know if he really wants to fight that. Good flick by Haichao, a little bit of damage, but not enough to warrant a follow-up.
But in net, he is down Flash and down Ultimate, which removes a lot of that threat away from his aggressive plays and enables LNG to do stuff like this.
No. Scout of the Week does not quite land, but he finally hits him into the wall. Kroko is now finishing the assassination. Haichao finally goes down as Bulldog was tanking the turret shots, and Moham arrives to the party a little too late. Oh, great pick by 1xN. Starry forced to use the cleanse off the Chain of Corruptions. Flashes away. No way he gets out alive. Yeah, missing. Just slams him into the wall. And that's for the first 3 kills for LNG. Feat of Warfare secured for this squad. And you shouldn't burn tools to try and, like, make the situation better for yourself. Now, missing, he doesn't have Flash from before. Solar Flare, a little wide, only slows him down. Keeper's Verdict for the knockup on the Juhan to slow him down as well. And, oh boy, that was a lot of tools burned by OMG. They don't get anything. Bulldog trying to threaten over the wall. Good scout of the week on to 2. Missing, tries to slam Starry into the wall.
Use this Rift Herald, it just means that the dragon fight is important. But maybe we see somebody jump in for a potential steal.
Missing is the target from OMG. They're investing a lot of tools just to knock him out of the fight, but Sheer showing up to the party might turn things around. Missing is finally eliminated. Kroko takes this entire time to take the Rift Herald, and now he's isolated. Tries to dash onto one target and give himself a little bit of healing off the Redemption proc, but it's not enough. Harry might be in trouble, but walks away from the decimating smash, and the rest of OMG have full control of this top side jungle. Completely cut off, as you called out. Scatter of the Week goes wide on the left side. Starry still pinned under the tower. Kroko's gonna give Juhan a bit of a poke. Forces him over the Dragon Pit wall. They're still trying to threaten this tier 1 turret. Sheer is flicked under the tower, but it's gone. Scatter of the Week does connect on to Starry. He burns the ultimate. Everyone's getting the movement speed around. And the rest of OMG are a little precocious about how they want to approach this fight, because they cannot just walk into Scion that simply, as OMG are taking their time, but they're losing a lot of tools. And I think this dragon fight so far is favored for LNG.
It definitely is LNG just running the pit right now. The question is, can Juhan get a Miracle Steal? Moham just marking out the vision. But OMG, they're kind of not sure whether they're cutting and leaving or not right now, as I think LNG are just playing the range difference, getting the winning composition, as now finally we get some violence.
Juhan? He's in there. Harry's also alongside him. Who's going to get the dragon fight? It's 2K 1300. Juhan secures it. That's the feat of a warfare for OMG. And the fight breaks out completely. 1xN isolated. Missing. Can't really do anything. The fight is already won by OMG. Kroko is sit down in the grave. LNG lose the fight. They lose the dragon. And OMG finally have momentum in this game 1.
And from there, this time around, Starry flashing over the Scion, not dealing with that nonsense, and we do see a pick on the Bulldog.
No flash available, the big pick by Haichao into the Solar Flare. Mid laner is gone for LNG, and that's a significant carry threat. Eliminated by OMG. Missing could be the next target here. Sidesteps the Zenith Blade, but it does force him to walk back into the waiting arms of OMG. 3 to 5 on the map. That should be the Otacon for OMG.
Listen, we've been talking about Starry as the main character, but Haichao is having a cracking game for himself, initiating basically all of the picks that OMG have had in their favor. These Unraveled Earths have been absolute cinema to watch so far. As the player that people told me coming into this season, well, you know, he's kind of there. He's a decent mid. He did well on LNG, but he's going into this. He's taking advantage of the ability to pick out that immobile mage, the immobile Varus. No spell shield yet for him as OMG siege up this mid tower. Another great wall comes in. No chance of an engage coming out from LNG. And
but this is a chance now for Haichao, if they are able to close this game out, not only they get the first one up in the series, but they've also already defeated Bulldog's essentially most comfortable champion. As they're looking for a pick with the Solar Flare, goes wide, slows down the entire front line. Harry has found one onto Kroko, and if the jungler's gone, then there's no chance that they can secure the dragon. Kroko still has a flash. He's waiting his time, sits in the redemption circle, gets a bit of healing, and flashes away from the flick set up by Haichao. Kroko's now on the other side of the wall, trying to look through, entering on the bottom side of this Dragon River entrance. Harry, hit by the Scatter of the Weak. Juhan, burning down the dragon as fast as possible. Haichao looking for another flick. Dodges the wind, becomes lightning. Keeper's Verdict, punts out one in Moham's Leona. Unraveled Earth and Flick does not find anyone. 3K on the dragon, getting closer. 1K, it's Juhan that secures it. Moham comes back in the fight. Juhan's in! Flash for the Cyclone onto the front line. One extended Bulldog waiting for the time. Haichao gets into the back line, looks for the flick. A little too wide, flashes away to the turtle one. Moham boxes him up, but he is destroyed by the Scatter of the Weak of Bulldog Syndra. But OMG have them corralled. They're trying to corner them and push them into this wall, but Sheer is still a giant meat shield that he can step on. Trying to argue some time. Harry goes all out, completely dies. OMG are collapsing. There's
Starry
too far. Kroko out, but Starry's still surviving, but he is getting destroyed and mollywopped by the undead passive of Sheer. He's gonna battle Juhan to the end, but Juhan, the last member standing, and they stand tall. OMG pick up the third dragon for themselves.
It's about to be taken by OMG with 20 seconds left. Will they just flip it and go Baron? You're a poke comp. You can't lose the Mountain Soul or it's cooked.
This is why you don't steal the cookie jar at night, kids. Anyway, fight breaking out into the mid lane. Good flick on to Sheer, but he gets a three-man unstoppable onslaught.
Starry's dead!
Follows up and eliminates Starry! No Sivir! No way OMG can carry out this fight, even with the G on top of Juhan, but Haichao's gonna try his damnedest to look for it. The flick doesn't find 1xN. Haichao is occupied. 1xN is still firing arrows, but now he's got to deal with Harry, who is approaching. Bulldog, completely safe, sends out of the Scatter of the Weak stun. Sheer occupying and buying so much space, but Harry and Haichao are still alive.
That flash!
Throws another rock and pelts 1xN in the face with a giant boulder. Bulldog knows that the fight is cooked, and he's gonna recall back to the base. Sheer is up in 13, has teleport available. Kroko and Juhan are up in 2 seconds. I don't know if the Dragon's gonna be alive long enough for either of these junglers to get involved. Starry has popped the ultimate just to make sure he can get in here. Keeper's Verdict, looking for the windup. Not gonna happen. OMG, secure Mountain Soul.
Whereas Haichao on the left side is just doing absolute work. Bulldogs.
The flank from Moham. Looking on the left side, Solar Flare right on top of Bulldog. He's getting blasted. Haichao cuts off the retreat path. Kroko's got nowhere else to run, and he's buying as much time as he can, but it's not enough time in this world to survive. OMG. Eliminate 3 in the blink of an eye, and it's time for Baron.
Yep, once the Mountain Soul came in, I think the real chance of an LNG comeback plummeted from about 40% down to 10. And with the Baron, it's going down to single digits here. We have 1xN trying to grab whatever gold he can, but it's a tier 1 bot tower at 33 minutes against Mountain Soul and Baron. Against Baron, against Mountain Soul, you don't expect to be coming back into this one. They may go for some desperation plays to try and find anything, but OMG doesn't even want to give them the angle.
I'm not sure if Sheer is actually dead here or not. Well, the flick finds him, and the Keeper's Verdict does punt away one, but Harry and Haichao should have enough CC between them to ensure that this Scion eventually goes down. It takes a while, but even without a Liandra's Torment, they've got the damage and the tank shredding abilities to finally take out this super beefcake, and LNG are now without a tank.
If you just let this play out, it is OMG playing a really solid 0-1-4, split out, just take as much priority as you can off the minion waves. Let Starry one-shot whatever tower's in front of him. Job's done. Don't need to think about it much more than that. LNG's trying to pelt out some poke, but without forcing something. I mean, you don't have the poppy ult, you can't make an unfair fight happen. It really is OMG's game to lose here.
How cruel is the world for LNG to draft a poke composition just to get negated by Mountain Soul and 3 Mountain Dragons. Decent scout of the week stun onto the back line. Haichao forced to walk away. Sheer leads the charge with the unstoppable onslaught. Good flick tries to keep him back. Decimating smash interrupted by Juhan. Cyclone. Frontliners trading health bars so far. Backliners staying safe. Starry just throwing out boomerang blades one after another. Bulldog trying to find an angle. Throws out the ultimate. Almost takes out Harry. Harry finally goes down. It's a 4-on-4 for now. Moham is dropped by Sheer's undead passive. And OMG Siege is stopped for now. But Haichao waiting in the shadows. Looking for a flick. Croco forced to dash through the unraveling earth to dodge the flick in full, but Haichao just has so much damage. The flash for nothing. Croco panicking in the late game. Bulldog trying to see if he can find the scatter leak sun, but Haichao's too fast
this time around, and we see topside. It is both Sivir and Juhan pushing this tower. Bulldog being down here fishing for the pick. I don't know if he could have saved that top tower, but this is just resources away from the defense.
Oh no!
Yeah, this is a bit dangerous to separate with the Elder spawning.
The efforts of 28 minutes, a 7,000 gold advantage, can all be undone in one single team fight for this objective. Croco has already begun the Elder Dragon spawn leash. Trying to look at Sheer right now, forced to back away. Tanks about a quarter of his HP as punishment. Juhan still leading the charge, crushing blow, baits out the decimating smash. Moham trying to slow him down with the solar flare, and Haichao is lurking around the shadows, cuts them off with the Weaver's Wall, trying to poke at them with rocks. A flick finds missing. That's a lot of damage.
You gotta do something.
That's a dead Poppy. It's 5-4. Moham goes in on the Bulldog. Croco with the ultimate pushes them back. Bulldog trying to buy space for himself, pushes Moham away to the left side, but the rest of OMG's backline are pushing through and eliminating the front line of the Big of an Eye, and it's only 1xN left to try and do anything, but anything is just not good enough at this stage of the game. Starry picks up the triple. They don't even need the Elder Dragon. They could just push to end the game.
A valiant attempt to try and get something done at the end there, but OMG absolute wallet diff them, playing out that fight to minimize any chance for Bulldog to play the game, recognizing the scariest member, and doing really solid work to avoid getting one shot, as now Nexus falls. OMG take first blood in the series that is looking like it's gonna be a banger.
If we want to start extending conversation for a Haichao redemption arc all the way even towards the tail end of LNG's Esports 2025 season, it did start off with a Ahri pentakill from Haichao.
He's positioning like it.
Grand Starfall, he's looking top lane first, and he's going to force Croco to say, do you want to ult now and try to answer to your top lane? 1xN already using the cleanse and the killer instinct. Here comes Croco, but 1xN's already out of the fight. He's already used his ultimate, but he's forced to flash away because Bulldog comes in with the Realm Warp and missing, trying to get in range. Flash from Bulldog, looks for the Rune Prison, sets it up on the Juhan. He goes in for one more stun. It's still first blood. Juhan goes down
Haichao's approaching
and ensures that OMG take first strike. Haichao has now arrived to the party, and Spirit Rush is available.
Good job.
Finds the charm right on top of Bulldog. He knows that there's no flash available. Missing finally gets Pop Blossom, but all 3 members flashed away from the knockup. Haichao picks up the Fate of Warfare for OMG. And boy, oh boy, it's another OMG snowball.
Bad for 1xN, who was the recipient of both of those kills. But at the end of the day, it's Kraken Slayer on the Yanara already. It's going to be really difficult to put Starry down in this early game from this point onwards. We're part of the OMG roster that have been together for the longest time. Harry has been there too, ever since, funnily enough, playing with Croco over on AL a few years back, then getting moved over to OMG mid-split. And it has been these 3 as really the core. With the amount of rotation tools available for both of these teams, it's going to be about getting a lead on these solo laners. As
Sheer
LNG tries to
tags
top.
him. Croco turns out the lights, and 1xN doesn't even need to commit the killer instinct. He just walks up and says, thank you very much for the donation. LNG recognize that, hey, we need to get our Kai'Sa online as fast as possible, and they spoon feed their AD carry.
Really fun matchup between these 2 AD carries who have definitely got the mechanical chops to make a lot happen. As with the tower race, it does go in the favor of LNG. If we take a look up at the feats of warfare, that means now it is 2 objectives to secure it. and with both the Rift Herald and the Dragon spawning at the same time, a lot of global abilities. I'm curious to see if we're going to have both teams standing at one and then jumping to the other, or if perhaps it's going to be a case of both teams pick a side and whoever finishes it first then tries to rain down hellfire from above on the other side. Where she is she imitating someone? And when it comes to a team fight, I think that the vision would get cut off in such a way that unless you actively see the imposter, missing can go for a solid play, as Kroko is just approaching, but Juhan has been favored on the smite fights all game so far. Oh, he takes it this time!
But Kroko wins it, and now they're going to turn off the lights, see if they want to look for an engaged follow-up afterwards. LNG are going to play it cool.
There was really no right for Juhan to lose that smite. I think that was definitely a oops my B from the OMG side. Thing is about Pantheon, with the execute damage on his Q, it is really difficult to win one of those fights. So I'll give full credit to Kroko for landing the smite at the correct time at Bulldog. We might possibly see a completion into that Medjai's beforehand, as we do get Haichao being collapsed on.
Kroko flashing forward to guarantee the feather tier right on top of Haichao's Ahri. And even though the snowball did begin with OMG's mid laner, those Dark Seal stacks are going to crash down back to 0. The stonks have fallen. Juhan tries to flash towards the left side. Harry comes in with a teleport, slams Kroko into the wall. Can they turn the fight now? Missing has already used the Pop Blossom, and he's flashing away, and Bulldog is on the wrong side of the fight. Gets run down by Starry's Yunara as he transcends. And the rest of LNG are going to take their leave. Maybe seeing if they can look for a quick pick onto Moham. 1xN tries to blow him up. Wild Growth used. Gets a knockup, but Moham is still dead. The Grim Deliverance right on top. Starry's in trouble. Starry's dead. Juhan goes down. LNG win the fight. He is just a little guy. Just trying to see if he can be a rat and find an angle. Harry threatening the top tower on the top side.
Starry's
meanwhile, Sheer Grim Deliverance traded for the Gnar from Harry. They have to let the Otacon reset. OMG.
Oh, wow.
Let the objective leash back to full. Harry is about to wind down on the Mega Gnar form. That just might be the time for Kroko to pull the trigger. Teleport's coming in. Is that Haichao? No! Haichao! Oh, no!
That's not it, Captain.
After all this time, Haichao?
That's not it.
He mutters with, oh my god.
That's one that hurts the soul.
After all this time, Melvin.
This play, as this is just going to be LNG picking up the Otacon, the Feats, an Ocean Dragon. Could not be better for them. Truly could not be better for them. The longer this game goes, the more it comes down to positioning.
Okay, Kroko pops the paranoia, trying to dash right on top of Starry and Moham. Juhan trying to find
missing!
way out, but missing over the wall with the Pop Blossom. So awesome, it just wrecks OMG's chances of getting out alive. Moham, the sole survivor, but he has to walk away limping and sad.
To close the gap quicker, you're going to be burning some of your effective DPS in these fights. Actually picking up the Banshee's Veil component with that Vern barrier. Harry being forced on, though.
Oh, man. He tries to hop over them, but the Pop Blossom clips him mid-air. He goes in the Mega Gnar form, still has the ultimate to try and see if he can punt them away, but he is not getting out anytime soon. Haichao continuing to split push on the opposite side of the field. This tier 1 turret will fall to OMG. They get a little bit of gold back in their pockets, and credit to them for not losing momentum and keeping a sound, cool head. I know that a lot of things have gone wrong for the OMG squad, and LNG are favored in this game, but OMG still have a chance to strike back. But I have to say, Melvin, now they have full control. This Baron is...
It's gone.
Drop it.
It's gone.
They're going to turn out the lights as well. There's no way Haichao maybe thought about just throwing an orb over the wall, seeing if he could steal it. Pure chance, pure luck, not going to happen. Baron secured for LNG, and now OMG really starting to run out of opportunities to get back.
This AP Kai'Sa nearly at the Rabadon's got so much damage in the pocket. Truly insane amount of DPS if 1xN is allowed to free hit. And the W's are coming out. That is, yeah, non-negligible amount of the health bar. So you can't even play a slow fight because you get poked out.
They're jumping on the Harry. Or not Harry, I should say Sheer on the Zahen. Forced to use the Grim Deliverance as an escape tool. Mega. OMG do push them out, but 1xN is still healthy. He's still throwing out these Void Seekers. Bulldog starting to occupy attention on the left side and putting pressure and stepping up. Starry pops the ultimate just to continue holding this choke point. Juhan trying to burn down this dragon as fast as possible. 1xN into the backline. Pop Blossom right on top. Sorry's forced to flash over the wall, but 1xn falls with the flash of his own, commits to the assassination, and 1xn is flying by the seat of his pants, destroying every last one of OMG's squad. Croco will run down Harry on the left side. This game is cooked. LNG are winning this one surely.
In a single team fight, we see a game that was even and OMG's favor falter. In a second team fight, we see LNG take that advantage and turn it into a nexus. This is not the same story as the first time around where we saw OMG and LNG have a very close game one. This was very slowly and then all at once to LNG.
Let's step back forward a bit, because LNG flashed the Alistar early, recognizing, as you called out, Rel is still one of the engaged supports that is available, and something that Moham would probably wanted to have gone for.
He's not going to do.
He's thinking about it though. Sheer is at 50% HP. Depending on what Sheer uses for his empowered ability, he uses the Ruthless Predator, gets some decent healing, but Harry's going to go in and commit and try to bait him in. Sheer, can you flash the flag and drag? Yes, he does, but Juhan's going to follow up, and that is first blood for OMG. People with those auto attacks. Dragon has spawned, but neither team has really made a committed effort for the objective. Sheer gets engaged on. Harry already using the public execution, and now trying to space out the remainder of the Dominus from Sheer's Renekton. It's going to be a trade. Flash forward. Darkin Blade right on top of it. Mega Inferno Bomb. That's a lot of damage from LNG. And OMG are forced to run. Haichao trying to see if he can follow up for any chip damage on the Bulldog, but the fight is pretty much won for LNG, and the first Dragon is awarded to Croco.
I do not know how OMG were posturing around that objective, but for missing to get an angle like that and just immediately one-shot Starry, basically the only loss condition that was available, so gotta give full credit over to LNG to find something like that, because, yeah, I was really excited to see this pickup with Starry on the Ash as Haichao commits, gets the sweep.
Oh! Emperor's Divide through the satchel charge, and Haichao flashing away from the bouncing bomb as well.
Big misplay is going to lose the Dragon and the kill, as we do have a contest for Grubs. Croco does a lot more damage to these camps than Juhan does, so it's not easy, especially with Missing on the flank to support his jungler.
Missing knows that Juhan is in that bush, so he's going to say, get the hell out of here. This is my jungle right now. 2 grubs have been secured for LNG. 1 more remains to be taken. Juhan does have smite, but can't get in there. The arrow lands right on top of Missing, and he doesn't have the ultimate to cleanse the either. Missing is forced to run,
Next kill is
and Croco's going to get tagged here. Remember, no flash on this Aatrox, and the World Ender is used only briefly. Feat of Warfare secured, or Feat of Strength should be secured for OMG. First 3 kills there, and the final grub is taken by Juhan.
Very good contest from OMG. You do lose the grub. Oh my god, wait, hold on.
Wow, 1xn, but pops the bullet time just far enough that Starry and Moham cannot continue through that.
OMG, they want to try and deny these feats. As we do have Croco roaming up to top. Harry is quite pushed forward.
Juhan just started committing onto a Gromp. Now he's going to be called. Harry using the public execution to try and dash his way out of it. He flashes over the Darkin Blade.
Wait a minute.
Juhan comes in for the big dunk. Cataclysm already used. Mega Inferno Bomb sidestepped, and Croco is not going to have enough damage to win this fight against Juhan. It's a double kill for OMG's jungler. Yeah, the overload from LNG ensures that they're going to try and secure first brick before OMG gets the one on the bottom side of the map.
The arrow is coming out. This is looking to tag with the Seraphine ult in pocket. Oh, what? It cancels the bullet time as well?
Wow.
Harry's already dead, though.
Harry goes down. Moham survives. Is able to walk out. Emperor's Divide onto Croco. Juhan looks for the flag and drag. Misses the knockup. Dunk for an extra bit of damage. Croco. All of the focus and the efforts come down to the objective feat for Feats of Warfare.
With the Rift Herald spawning in a minute, let's do a little rundown of how the state of the game is looking, because I would be very surprised if this is not a full Sen team fight from both sides. If it's started by LNG, they have full prio and no Harry with them.
4k HP on the Rift Herald. Juhan gets vision of it.
Open.
It's going to be closed. The eyes open. Go in.
No, he whiffed!
He was early! It was 12:05. Croco secures it. Emperor's Divide pushes him back into the wall. Bullet time. Forces him away. Harry's into the backline. Kills the Croc. But Haichao keeping his distance. Missing. Trying to find another combo for the knockup. But Croco flashes over the Cataclysm and takes out Moham.
Oh, Starry!
1xn. A live by Starry. He's 1v2ing. He's space gliding on them. That's the power of the Ash right there. Juhan trying to continue the fight.
side of that fight, but it goes in Starry's favor, picking up both of the enemy main carries and securing 2 towers after the fact. Might be Wash, brother.
That was a bit of a travesty. LNG gonna ignore the dragon and just go for a quick charge into the mid lane. It doesn't take out the tier 1 turret completely, but doesn't need that much to befell it. Probably a blow of the wind. Oh yes, nice, nice.
Damn, the wind is really strong.
One of the few champions that has 2 items in the game at this state, and no one from LNG would even dare to try and fight this guy in a 1v1, and even in a team fight scenario, Bulldog and 1xN have to be extremely careful about stepping too far forward, especially if their flashes are down.
But it is just so difficult for this comp to position around an objective and not get jumped. You need to go for plays like this where you force it first before they can posture.
Missing does cleanse the ultimate from Starry. 1xN gets in range, but the Encore stalls for time, and Juhan comes in and gives 1xN a good old smack on the head. Starry ending up in the middle of all of them and goes down anyway. Can Juhan carry through the fight? He gets blown up by Bulldog on the way out. Harry and Haichao trying to do what they can to carry through the momentum of this fight. Moham already used the Encore and trying to use his heals to keep Harry and Haichao topped off on HP.
This is just the all-empowered Sundered Sky. Okay, Sheer getting jumped on.
Sheer's
no flash.
in trouble, flashing away, and Emperor's Divide from Haichao says, "Where are you going, buddy?" That Croc has been turned into boots and a belt, and Croco is running towards the top side of the map, knowing that the Otacon is getting burned down as he walks.
Croco's going to get in range in time, does have the flash and the dash. It's going to be close. Oh, he takes the
I don't know. He takes a long way around 2k HP. It's gone.
Yeah.
Little too late for LNG's jungler to get involved. Otacon secured by OMG. Gold lead still at a 4,000. Hasn't really accelerated. It still means that LNG do not want to be necessarily the first ones in unless Missing can find a pocket of vision where he can flank. But OMG, careful enough, are starting to ward off any of their left side flanks. They know that Missing is now deep into the red side quadrant jungle. OMG trying to pull the dragon to the right side.
There is an Alistair Smite steal.
He has Hex Flash as well, so he can get into the pit. Croco is the first one there, but he's going to have to immediately dash out. But public execution right top! Croco! Oh my god! LNG's jungler
no.
deep. Juhan almost losing this dragon to a Bulldog Mega Infernal Bomb steal, but Clutch Smite secures their 3rd dragon of the game.
Wait, Harry's TPing in for a flank.
Cloud Soul. Bulldog might be cut off here. Harry is looking to cut off the rest of the members of LNG. 1xN now caught by this Imbessa. No public execution, but he's got enough damage. Encore onto all 3 from Moham!
Oh, it's
and that's curtains for the LNG backliner. Sheer's gonna be the next one to fall. Missing. Can't do anything but just watch his teammates fall one after another. The arrow lands true. This Yordle is getting turned into mincemeat, and OMG can look to the Baron after.
But, haha, that was a lie, as Moham is now the one zoning behind the pit. But again,
Croco has to
Croco can steal this. Don't let him in.
5,000 HP. They're stopping it for now. Harry's trying to tank up the damage to see if they don't have to leash it. Now Croco's in. Bullet time. Burns it down. No way. Croco steals the Baron. Croco will go down a hero. Sheer tries to flash over the wall and secure as many Baron buffs as possible. He ends up dying. OMG are 5-3 on the map, but LNG deny the Baron away from, oh my god. Missing finally spotted by Harry, cutting off the flank route. Missing is still going to commit to the play, see if he can get it unbeknownst to OMG. But they have a control ward on the other side of the bush, so they'll know he is spotted on the left side. OMG, do they fight through the front? Do they back up? What is the call here? Juhan caught up by Croco. Harry's into the back line, looking for Bulldog with the public execution. Haichao follows up. Flash Emperor's Divide.
Big sweep.
The Yordle's gone, and he goes golden with the Zonias. LNG lose both of their backliners. Doesn't matter if Haichao goes down. Croco will not survive and end anyone's world today. OMG win the fight, and they don't give a damn about the dragon. They're going to end the game.
Redemption for the mid laner with that pickup on both the carries with the Azir ultimate, but Harry with a complete barnstormer of a game on the Ambessa. So many essential public executions just dismantled the LNG comp. At the start of that play, Starry chucks out the ultimate, forces Bulldog's flash, and OMG knew exactly what they had to do to play out the comp and win the game. Really nicely done. Some very scary moments, but OMG take game 2, or game 3, 2-1 in the series. Finally seeing a game 4 of Fearless, the Juhan Skarner coming out. One of those champions that has kind of been the bane of everybody since he got reworked.
You are going to be one of the most powerful frontliners in the game, and even though a Flash Impale might be a little too bold on someone slippery like the Kiana or the Ezreal, if they're set up by the rest of your team, it's a lot easier.
Fishing.
Flash Q into the crash down to Starry. Starry knows that he is not long for this world, and that is first blood going over to Kroko here in game 4.
Camp. And right now, if she loses this blue, it's going to be pretty devastating. Does not get in range to steal it away, but Juhan is aware. Question is, will Shears Jax be able to come down and make a difference, or will Juhan get out scot-free?
I don't think Juhan's getting out, brother. Yep. Juhan secures the blue buff. At what cost?
We have Kroko taking away the grubs. This Kiana shouldn't be able to get away with this. You should be collapsing on them to do something. But nothing to be done. I just think that OMG pretty much misexecuted.
Be able to offset the fact that you're not building any attack speed.
I mean,
right now.
It's fun to laugh about, but I do kind of want to put myself in the POV of Starry, and you look at the enemy team and you think, who do I get to stack my passive on?
I don't know if it's one that OMG really want to take.
I do. They don't. They definitely don't want anything. Right now, I don't think they even want to take the red buff fight.
Holy moly, Juhan thought that he could just take the red buff in peace, force the flash away. Moham's gonna flash right on top of Kroko, and big collector wipeout. Juhan is the one that gets the shutdown bounty, but it's a reset for Starry, and it's a signal for LNG to get the hell out of there.
From all the precedent I had from OMG, I really just expected Juhan to flash that wall, everybody out. But the full send from Moham as well does actually mean they get to walk away with something. The feats of warfare still on the table as this... not stolen. That will be the feats of objectives passed over.
Thankfully,
that was a fun name.
Yeah, thankfully for LNG, Kroko had the upgraded smite, 1200 versus Juhan, who still has about 4 jungle camps to stack up for the 1200 smite. Juhan looking for the initial engage, and Pale is a whiff, and now Juhan's in trouble, and good night. Yeah, that's the feat of strength going over to LNG Kroko with his 2nd kill of the game.
Not it, as it will be converted into the Rift Herald charging down mid. Losing mid tier 1 is devastating this early into the game against this much poke from LNG. And
another one?
I've seen Kroko do this Rift. I know he can do
it. Hey!
Very, very nice. He's going to knock down another tower, just losing so much ground on the map. Especially as this split push Yorick, it's really rough. You want to be able to overextend and know that if you could just fight off 2 people.
If OMG win, I don't know if this is actually going to be Serpent's Fang, but I cannot think of any other lethality item that builds out of Dirk and Pickaxe that's not Collector. Does Edge of Night build from it? You have to get a ton of... No. Unlucky. Okay.
Okay. Back to the fight. Juhan gone and got
big
2.
Fight, Impale onto multiple members, but the supreme display of talent clips Juhan on the way out, and it doesn't even matter. LNG wiped the fight. 6,000 gold ahead at 20 minutes. This Otacon is going to them. I think most certainly this is a game 5 angle. Because I'm now trying to think back, what were the first 3 picks from LNG before Starry locked in Jinx? Because it was Kiana, Rel, Jax.
I think more importantly, they had already picked the Yorick before the Jinx. So that's the part that I find a bit less forgivable. It's one thing if you get kind of outdrafted, but if you have the Yorick and then pick the Jinx and then want to play front to back?
Good lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to game 5. Sheer just puts the epic beat down. Oh, wait a minute. Prophet? Unlucky. An ultimate? Awesome. If not, you know...
And the problem is, this OMG team is built around Starry as the win con. Okay, they're finally trying to kill Kroko.
Looking for the flash. I mean, Haichao trying to tag Croco on top of it, but he goes into grass cube form, invisible, but the next target is missing, and Starry gets the reset. Can he just cook with this build? He's already on the left side of the fight, looking for 1xN, but on the Ezreal, he dashes forward, shifting forward, forcing Starry to burn both of the summoner spells and fleeing the scene. Moham tagged by the Spiraling Despair. Rest of the LNG can follow up. Moham is eliminated, and OMG are now running out of options. Juhan threatening the flank on the left side, trying to see if he can get in there.
Hurts to think about how many stats are going to be in the pockets of these LNG members. Having the Atacon, having the Infernal Dragon, having so much gold. Send your OMG prayer circles. Will the Jinx ult steal the Baron? Ooh.
Not even a chance, because Missing intercepts it and says, nice try, buddy. Moham trying to set up the first reset for this Jinx. Juhan scoops him right back. Magnastorm stalls the fight briefly, but Starry gets the reset, but is just forced to use the movement speed to run away. Croco catching Moham with the supreme display of talent. Goes invisible with the grass Q. Just playing with his food right now. Moham limping away. Starry trying to look for another kill, but Croco flashes in and blows up the lethality Jinx. LNG continue the momentum into the mid lane. I'm going to try to take this all the way into the base.
Just... I get me out if I'm Starry. This game, it's been so over for so long on behalf of OMG, and Croco is, you know, he's making it so you have to really think, will we get the run back of both junglers on the Jace mirror match in our game 5, or will we see Croco lean towards that Kiana a second time?
The precision that they want to be able to demonstrate in this series. They know that going into this game 4, they were down backs against the wall where OMG were favored with match point on their side. They do not want to let this game 4 go to chance in any way possible. And we know from a spectator standpoint that this game is LNG's to lose at this point. And I think that pressure is even exercised further despite the massive goal difference, but they are not taking any chances whatsoever. They're trying to play everything by the book, and they are taking measured risks as precisely as possible. Now sieging into the base, and LNG should be sending us to silver scrapes fairly soon unless something goes awry.
It is just a matter of letting your poke champions do their work. At this point, it is just Bulldog and 1xN flexing. Starry forced to flash away. I feel like it's going to be on this push. I don't even think they need the third inhib. I don't think they need super minions. Croco isn't even in the base yet. He's only just got here, and it's already done and dusted. OMG sat there hoping they can force something, but you don't have the facilities, my friends. You are looking for game 5
Flash
already.
from Moham, looking for Missing. That's not the target you want to look for. Moham is the first one to fall. The dash through. Supreme Displays talent finds Starry onto his own base. Croco destroys Harry, and the Kiana curse is lifted for now. LNG are able to prosper. They move to match point. It is game 5 between OMG and LNG. Assassinating Juhan's Jace and winning them the series in stage 2. And the rest of the composition that unfolds, it's Haichao Orianna, Starry Varus, Moham Leona.
Blown already. Oh, it's Harry. Sorry, they're lane swapping. That's one way to do it. Yeah.
Try to get out of that very, very uncomfortable lane. Did Harry connect on the 1xN? Oh my god, wait a minute. Is 1xN gonna have to flash? Maybe have to pop a barrier.
I think he trades kill here if he
slows
flashes.
him. Decimating smash, the barrier's popped. Harry, one more auto attack. He's gonna flash for it. Oh my goodness, Harry secures first blood, burns both summoner spells on 1xN, and Harry might be able to secure this entire minion wave too in the undead passive form.
Taking the grubs. Starry barely not getting his base cancelled, but will stick around just to grab himself an extra tower plate, as now it's just pretty simple. There's nothing too complicated happening. There's some shenanigans happening over there with Missing trying to steal a grub away, and it does actually. Missing was able to get one.
What? Wow. Wow, 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 wow. OMG thinking about a dive, but the accelerated shock blast goes wide onto 1xn, and you have to imagine with Galio roaming up to top side, they might look for a follow-up. Missing hits the Pop Blossom and Juhan, flashing away from that hero's entrance. Bulldogs are gonna get in there, flash for the taunt. 1xn is also in the mix. He picks up Juhan's head. Sorry's gonna trade it back. And now LNG are going to try to make their exit route, but Moham's taking a lot of damage. Starry could also die to one combo from the...
Go, good arrow!
Away for the Winds of War! Starry dodges...
Oh my god!
Finally falls, but LNG will not be able to secure...
And Haichow's just dead!
Strength, and Haichow now caught by Croco as he gets flashed on by his own Jace. But the phase rush movement speed might just be enough for him to walk away.
He did force out Haichow's flash, but it was a trade at the end of the day.
Melvin, how poetic is it that our two main characters for both of these teams, hang on. Oh my goodness, one more auto attack. Can't flash those. That's another kill for Starry's pockets as Juhan tries to punch Sheer away, does manage to get out of harm's reach as Sheer's now on the wrong side, and Croco's gonna get run down on the tower. Harry can just tank up this turret shot, and Haichow says CY at with the shockwave. Moham now caught in 3. Maybe LNG can turn this one around and at least get a trade kill, and OMG have no more tools left in their tank. Moham speeding away, but the Winds of War finally clips him as his way was trying to at least make it out of there alive. And this fight, this game 5, is delivering Melvin. Heal them almost back to full, and it should give them the second win necessary to start this dragon up again.
And this is such a more difficult angle to play from as LNG. You could throw the poke out over the wall, but at the... Yeah, that was really funny. But the thing is, you're in a choke point, so it is a lot more reliable for OMG to hit their abilities. As now we do have Bulldog not looking for the ult, just being the face tank.
Front line into front line. Bulldog forced to flash away. Croco below 50% HP. Haichow now threatening on the right side flank. Missing. Trying to see if he can find Starry, but only hits Harry with the Pop Blossom. Haichow right into the front. They blow up Sheer before he gets a chance to revive with his passive, and now Bulldog might be the next target. He has no flash. Remember, Justice Punch intercepted by Harry's big fat body. Croco tries to poke from afar, but one shock blast will not change the course of this objective fight. Juhan and the rest of OMG can solo this dragon.
I have got to give full credit to Harry right there. He snapped as soon as Bulldog approached, sends the ult out, and then forces Bulldog to flash away. Person flashes or dies. LNG know this. LNG are playing respectful. But the problem is, when you play respectful against a poke comp, you know, there's a reason that Korean teams love it so much, because it's kind of one of those ones where you know that you're checkmated at a fight, but you have to do something, so you're kind of just there hoping that somebody makes a mistake. And so far, OMG are not in the business of making mistakes.
And LNG have to just kind of take the flow chart of like, okay, have OMG done this? Have OMG done this? Okay, they've done everything. Yep, we cannot contest.
Harry definitely wants to hit base before he gets anywhere near there, as we see him going for the recall. If Bulldog can cancel this, it's actually quite big. We do have the Rift Herald coming out just to secure that mid-tier one. It takes a very long time to get there. And... okay, hold on a minute. Crab gifted over. Maybe there is a steal potential.
Yep, well now they have vision on top of it, but enough members from OMG are staying on the map just to keep LNG in check and not give them a freebie.
I'm not scared for OMG just yet. Able to approach this dragon with their Jason base.
Whoa.
Their solid top lane. I think LNG have called the bluff effectively.
It's gone! Moham doesn't have Unsealed Spellbook Smite. Yeah, it's a clean smite from Croco. They walk away. That's a heist if I've ever seen one. Moham gonna try and see if they can find an engage or a pick afterwards, but it's only a missing clone that they have secured for themselves with the CC lockdown. Wow.
That's it.
Wow, Melvin. That's
LNG. I mean, they're a really decisive team. Like, I think that this is also the difference between... hold on a minute. What?
Moham?
What are we cooking?
What are we doing?
All right.
Moham!
What?
I'm aghast, and now the fight continues. Haichow pops the shockwave right on top of Harry. At least they trade 1 for 1, but missing. Now going to try to punish Starry. The fact that he's caught out here. It's actually Juhan that is being felled by LNG. OMG just lost their minds. They're dying. What the hell is happening on my screen? Starry flashing away from the hero's entrance circle. But Melvin, a moment of just insanity. They're starting to run out of ways that they can actually approach LNG.
And I mean, 1xN has now got his 100 AP marker. He is throwing out these fully empowered Kaiser Ws. So the poke is starting to shift into LNG's favor as the dragon is being fought there. Is both junglers here? Croco.
Wait, LNG still secured the dragon, but Juhan is able to take down Croco as punishment. Moham looking for 1xN. As he's able to cleanse away thanks to, I don't even know what happened there, but...
I mean, it's all about how confident LNG are playing, and guess what? We know this team is one thing, and they are ready to give it a go. Moham sitting here, going for the pick on Sheer.
Moham with the flank with the blast cone. Sheer's forced to use the ultimate just to get out of harm's way. 1xN pressuring on the right side. Bulldog also looking to threaten with a flank of his own. The rest of LNG just need to stall enough time for Croco to come back on the field. He's back on Summoner's Rift, but he has to walk so far just to get in range to potentially smite Sail to 4k HP. 1xN threatening on the backline. Juhan forced to punt him away, but he's in the middle of the hero's entrance. He's gonna get knocked up. And
Juhan's dead!
Can look for the steal. 3.2k HP on the Baron. 1xN saving the game alongside Bulldog. Massive throw from OMG, and it's LNG that come up huge in the clutch. LNG cannot be tested. OMG fail it all, and LNG have the Baron. How we have time and time again lamented if 1xN only had a team where he didn't have to 1v9. Well, on this squad with LNG, the clutch factor they have shown, the precision, the coordination, 1xN no longer has to fear about having to put the entire weight of the world on his shoulders. He can just live the dream, sailing into the backline, assassinating Story once again. He trades his life, but he has given his team a way into the base where it's only Juhan and Haichao to defend the entire world from crumbling down.
He has completed the Rabadons. Haichao has resource, but that is it. No shockwave available. I don't know if he even has a chance to stop this, but you have to try. You cannot lose without fighting back. The minions will be left alone. LNG not going to commit to the end without 1xN.
Exit from JDG 2025 at the end of Split 2. You look at Bulldog coming off of a very disappointing year in the LCK with DNF. You look at Croco and Sheer. So Harry can no longer just freely occupy space, and Missing is walking with the minion wave. Can they suss it out? Can they spot it? Missing looks for the pop blossom and only lands on a one, but Starry was forced to flash from it. Sheer approaching for the right side, looks to flank on top of Starry's head. The shockwave from Haichao clips multiple members, but 1xN is still firing. No one can touch him, no one can pressure him, and 1xN is deleting them all. Harry can look for a trade, but the damage has been done by LNG. Haichao, the final member from OMG left standing. Can he be a hero? Can he save the game from OMG? It's gonna be a momentous task to ask for the mid laner of OMG from his former organization that he has to somehow save the game from. But Bulldog clips him with the taunt, looks for the Justice Punch. The knockup connects, and LNG will repeat the story we saw in Stage 2. LNG remains victorious and holds the trophy over OMG's head. They will advance to the semi-finals.
An incredible performance from every single member of LNG.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.